So let's hop right into a lesson about the four regions of Emily. The Asphodivadins, they're the northern region, and they are represented by a golden horse. The Buchongpasud family, they're king cobra, they're green, and it's a snake. So the Buchongpasud family gives me kind of snaky vibes. I really don't like them because I don't care for Ramil or his pappy. They, to me, are the enemies. They are in the eastern region. The Minanagarins, they are blue, and they're represented by a shark and waves. They give me southern region, and because they're like near the ocean. Lastly, they have the Vichmatha family. If I'm butchering these names, I'm so sorry. I should probably just start recognizing them by letter, but I'm trying my best. So, the Vichmatha family in the west, their color is pink and they're represented by a phoenix. That is Ava's family, that's where she's from. And if Khanin's family isn't on the throne, then I would want the Vichmatha family to take the throne. I want Ava to win for her father so she can let all of Emily know that women can compete as heirs for the throne. And they're the western region. This was all explained to Khanin by his butler Chakri when Khanin arrived to the royal palace in Emily. Khanin was truly uncomfortable with the servants and subjects bowing to him, and then when he tried to bow back, they were uncomfortable. So it was just so awkward for everyone involved. My boy is truly just a humble lad. He's just like, I am regular, I don't know nothing about this royal life, don't treat me like that. Next, Charan met with His Majesty to let him know that Khanin is safe, but that the Nai, who is Khanin's adoptive dad, it is unknown whether he is alive or dead. He also believes that it was an inside job, the attack on him and Khanin, because one of the attackers had an Imali police officer badge. The king tells Charan to go out and find who the mole is in the kingdom, and also to go find out about Detanai's whereabouts. The king said that he will protect Khanin while Charan is away, but we know that Khanin is not going to like being away from Charan for too long. That's the only person he knows, and, for other reasons. The whole wardrobe scene is actually pretty cute. All the outfits were over the top, and Khanin asked the servants, is there anything simpler, because everything is really lavish and really gold. And I kind of agree with Chakri. You are the prince, so you need to dress the part. If you have to be a walking gold bar, then god damn it, Khanin, be a walking gold bar. And Khanin he looks absolutely stunning in his black and gold suit. I expect nothing less from Nunu. He is a stunner. That gold matching his hair so perfectly, absolutely. Now, for the next scene, I want you to imagine yourself in Khanin's shoes, walking into the royal room with all of the families present, and the king himself. And this is the first time, might I add, that you are meeting your grandfather and your dad, biological dad, who just happens to be the king and prince. My ass cheeks would be clenched together. They would be so clenched. I would be so nervous. But anyway, back to that later. Notice how all the other regions welcome Khanin, but the Buchongpasuds, they're last to do it. Also, the Buchongpasuds, they also are the ones to question Khanin's DNA and the authenticity of the king's test. The king was like, you can do a test on him yourself if you want to. Goddamn. That's common sense. Who wouldn't do a DNA test on Khanin? He's just walking in just oh, hey, no, I'm not related to y'all. No, they're going to test that stuff out to make sure he's the right person. I hope the Buchongpasud family disappears, okay? I don't like them at all, and I know they are up to no good at all. And then at the end, the Buchongpasud prince, he was like, oh, by the way, we will give Khanin a test. Excuse me? But whatever, that's fine. Do your due diligence as long as the king does not leave Khanin with them for too long and with them by himself, because I don't trust them at all. No, sir. I can't stand that family already. And maybe because it's so obvious that they seem bad, that they may actually not be the bad ones, and maybe one of the other two families that's trying to kill Khanin. But right now, all hands point to the green. They are the enemies now. But really, let me tell you, he was so sure that his own son Ramil would get the throne for him by being the only male heir, and that was his claim. My thing is, if you're a royal family, like, you should have multiple daughters and sons. That way you'll always have a backup. Anyway, so the king tells everyone that they are invited to celebrate because he is throwing a party for Khanin's return. And everyone is invited. And he specifically said that just so he can show the Buchankpusuts that they are welcome as well. The next scene, we see Khanin having dinner or lunch with his grandpa and his father. As he eats the food, he gets a flashback to his life before his world was just shaken up into pieces. Then outside, his grandfather asks him about the fencing. Danthanai was supposed to prepare Khanin for the royal competition so that Khanin could compete and Thornin could take the throne. To be honest, why do I feel like that's all the grandpa wants Khanin for, basically? Khanin told the king, I'm just here for my fake dad. Then I'm a bounce. I'm not doing the competition at all. And Grandpa King, he was a little shocked, but he played it off, saying that he will bring the competition up later. Like, the king, of course, is playing a long game. You don't want to piss off your MVP or get on their bad side on the first day. Shit. Khanin's already planning to pull an age of me, because y'all know I'm a runner, I'm a track star. If things get a little shaky or I feel uncomfortable, I run. And that's what I advise people to do, but no one ever listens to me. Anyway, because these kingdoms have all these rules and formalities, like, I understand kind of being, like, overwhelmed and just, like, I just want to go back to my regular life. But Khanin, the lavishness, the money though, buddy. And it's your family. Like, who gets handed a prince title? For real, for real. But on another note, Khanin was almost killed. Like, Grandpa, can you at least check on his mental health, his well-being, before you're like, do the competition? Like, duty or not, you don't know this 22-year-old man who's your grandson that you also kept away from his father and his family for 22 years. Give Khanin some time, okay? But I guess the good thing is the king is very straightforward. He is an old man and he does have his reasons because he's sick and he needs a successor. But, like, bro, like, give it a week. So, I believe when Khanin is outside on the balcony with his father, it is an important scene. The first thing Khanin does is apologize that he's not doing the competition, but Thornin says, don't worry about the competition now. Let me protect you. You've been through a lot. At least he sees his son's emotions and care about his well-being, like, you know. And Khanin being, you know, rightfully awkward about it. He doesn't really know what to do in this situation. But the good thing is, Thornin is happy to have his baby back because y'all have to remember, even though he hadn't raised him and didn't even know he was alive, that is still Thornin's baby. Then we have a short meeting with the heads of the other three regions discussing why His Majesty kept Khanin's life a secret and then suddenly bring him back all of a sudden, you know? Once again, it is the Buchankpusuts concerned with the Asavadevithans ruling again. Like, they don't want them to be ruling for another term. Now, the next scene has me side-eyeing Grandfather King, His Majesty, even more. Charan returned and said that Khanin and Danthanai's old house had burned down and that there was a charred body that was unrecognizable and it might be Danthanai's. Charan said that they've yet to test the body to be sure, but the little sample that they did send did turn out to be Danthanai's. But the king said, no need for that, no need to test the body, it's him. And when he said that, something isn't smelling right to me. The king then says that Khanin needs to forget about his past and grow strong in Emily. Y'all, I'm letting y'all know this. That the night is not dead and that the grandpa, he set the scene up or he had his men set the scene up, okay? Because I don't believe it. And I'm not going to lie to you, but I feel like Charan feels it as well. He knows the king is lying. And why was he calling the king Grandpa? I'm still confused as to how that fit into this thing. Well, anyway, the king called Charan grandson initially, is what I'm talking about. But I will say in the next scene, I give an A for effort to His Majesty for comforting Khanin when Charan had to give him the bad news that Danthanai is dead. And yeah, I want to tell y'all, poor baby, he has nothing to go back to. Also, his grandpa wants the throne. Yeah, he's gonna do anything necessary to get it. Also, stellar performance by Nunu. That shocked, crying, heaving thing that he was doing, that was amazing. That was awesome acting. He just cries so cute too. Crying in the lap of luxury must be nice and horrible at the same time. And that big, beautiful palace. And then, in the next scene, in Khanin's room, when Charan says, "You shouldn't be alone at a time like this. Let Chakri come up here and keep you company." I was like, "No!" I yelled. "No, Charan, you keep him company. Teach him some of that bed, Kim, boy." Khanin needs it at a moment like this. Luckily, Khanin had the same idea, but this big Charan only went to tell Khanin goodbye because his duty is over. I was like, that is the wrong fucking thing to say at a time like this. Wrong time, wrong place. Read the room, Charan. And Khanin was like, "We've shared a bed together plenty of nights. Why is this suddenly inappropriate now?" Oh man, the way he made it sound like they were the fucking, I wish, but we're gonna get to that later. But yeah, he was like, "We shared the bed plenty of times before." That made me remember that first kiss that they had together. It wasn't really a kiss, it was just their lips like accidentally touched together when they were playing that game. Also, he asked Charan decision or slash opinion about him competing in the fencing competition, like, "Would you respect my decision if I decide not to do it?" But he just needs a friend, like someone to talk to and just someone to connect him to his old life. And to be honest, Charan is technically the only thing that's really connecting him to it, even if it was only for a brief moment that Charan was there. Also notice that this is the second time that Khanin asked Charan if he would stay by his side forever. Like, he really don't want this man to leave, okay? The next scene, the king announces that in 3 months, the royal competition will commence for the next king. The other families know that Khanin didn't want to participate, but once Charan has said that he did want to see Khanin play or compete in the competition, guess what Khanin did? He said that he was doing it. He would participate. He all in now. In every age, power remains with those who win. Guess who said that, Charan? Khanin walked into the throne room and he let everybody know that the Asfadavadins will be participating in the games. Of course, Buchang Pusut has something to say, as they always do. Then the best part, Ava speaks up and says she will participate, and there is nothing in the rules that says that she, a female, cannot participate. And guess what? Her new best friend, soon to be bestie, Khanin, he backs her. He tells his grandpa, "Yeah, I think that she should be able to participate because men and women are equal. Yes, you gotta support a bad bitch. She is my queen already. Go, Ava." And here is my guess. Ava is going to win the throne for her daddy. And the king said that she is right, so he's going to allow it. He's going to allow her to participate. So the shady old king might not be that bad, but we'll see. I'm speaking too soon on either side. But now I want to talk about some romance, though. That's why Khanin needs to go learn some arts. In the words of Tyler, "I'll be your piece." He wants to be, his A-R-T. Charan is an art professor at Morpheus University of Art, which I guess is the university in Emily. Khanin is definitely interested in having his face and frame be studied by Charan. Meanwhile, Charan and his sexy ass friend Videsh from Thailand, he's not from Thailand, but he lived in Thailand. He asks Videsh to help him investigate both the inside job, like the snitch, and also where Thantanai is. And it must stay confidential. It's like nobody's supposed to know that he's researching these things. And then Khanin shows up in a hoodie looking suspicious. But he's looking for Mr. Charan Pathathawa. Yeah, I'm butchering these last names. Pathathawa. Baby, okay. That's his man. Okay, he looking for Charan. But how he snuck out of the palace is another question. But some sneaky news reporters were actually looking for Khanin, and then Charan did the fake kissy thingy to hide their faces. Like, Charan is pressing Khanin up against the wall. He put his little lip there like they're kissing. Girl, the way Khanin was feeling Charan pressed up against him, ooh, baby, he felt some type of way. They did not really kiss, but still, though, Khanin has a big crush on Charan, boo, okay? Khanin was smirking, but I will say Khanin has to be more careful. Like, bro, you're elite now. Everybody is looking at the new it boy, and his name is Khanin. When Charan gets him back to the palace, Khanin is still asking Charan to sleep at the palace with him. Just do it, Charan. And then when Khanin tried to pull his little prince card, like, I command you to stay, girl, Charan just walked out. So the next day, Khanin got him back. Khanin asked Granddaddy King to make Charan stay by his side. And I support this move wholeheartedly, okay? And so does the king, apparently. And so does Chakri. Turning into the best little henchman Khanin ever had. I really like this dude. And I really like this whole situation. And Khanin does it, he does it so smugly. But Charan, what boy? Are you scared? Like, you're gonna fall in love or something? Like, why do you look so concerned about being his bodyguard? When Khanin is speaking to Charan alone, he tells Charan that he has to help him with find out what happened to that Danai. Girl, he is on a mission. He's like, look, I don't care about the story or nothing. I just need to find my daddy. So everyone wants to know about the new prince, right? He is basically the news. Khanin is the news. Also, he is having that big party that his grandpa is throwing for him for being found, and the media will be attending it. So he has to learn how to dance, and he has to learn how to, just present himself in front of the media. And so that's what his servant is for, Chakri. And in the next day, that is what happens. The party is commencing. It's a royal gathering, and all the clans are there. And when I tell y'all, Khanin walks into that party ready to kill. He slayed to the heavens above and the hells below. When I tell y'all that he looks so good in that white and gold and that fur, Nunu is gorgeous, y'all. That boy, he is gorgeous. This part was for him. Yeah, he's just beautiful, and I'm going to start dressing like him. Okay, let me walk around in my little fur coat and my little white and gold. People gonna think something wrong with me. But he is crowned by his grandfather, and he is officially the heir of his family.